Set appropriately.
And this is where you would set the other frequencies if you're going to another airport.
Okay.
And you could push fill over there.
Good.
Yep. And then you push the other one to accept 38 gallons total.
All right. I believe we are all set.
This way.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, hold on. Yep, it's... Someone flip it all the way around, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, someone probably flipped it all the way around. But yeah, it's supposed to be this way.
Yeah.
I thought, hold on. Uh-oh, I think Dennis did it so that it's supposed to be this way. Yeah, he did. That's how it is in most Cessnas.
Okay.
It was the other way a little while ago until he flipped the pin. So now it goes that way. There you go. Good deal.
All right, so let's do a brake check.
One more thing I'd like to do during the radio, the radio setup. There you go. Good.
Perfect. Brakes. Those. We're all good.
Alright, and then if you don't mind, I'll check my brakes as well.
Yep, your controls.
My controls.
Your controls.
My brakes work. My steering works. Your controls.
My controls.
Your controls. Alright, make sure no one's coming from the other side. Over there.
We are clear on the left.
Alright, slowly approach the corner.
We are clear on the right.
Alright, take a look at the windsock.
Like it's coming.
Dead calm. The tail isn't picked up at all. And then I always like to check this windsock as well. This one's so there's different types of windsocks. There's like 20 knot windsocks and 10 knot windsocks that'll be like full up at different speeds.
Right.
So I like to check this one. It's a little bit more sensitive.
What knot is it?
That I'm not sure about exactly. It's based on the size of the windsock.
Right.
So this one's smaller, so I would assume it's for lighter winds.
Turn my phone on to do not disturb. Don't need to.
Oh, would you like me to taxi for a minute?
Yeah, your controls?
My controls?
Your controls. Testing, 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 testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. That's better.
Alright, your controls?
My controls. Nope. Watch out for that road right there. Make sure no one's flying out of it. Looks clear. All right, parked and ready for run-up procedures. Parking brake set. Are we going to leave it?
Yeah.
Okay. Fuel selector set to both. It is indeed. Elevator trim is set to neutral. Flight controls. Left yoke, right yoke. Flight controls are good.
Alright.
Mixture for rich. Throttle up to 1700. Right there. Right magneto check. Good. Left magneto check. Good. Carb heat.
The exhaust probably isn't hot enough for it yet.
Okay. Suction is in the good zone. Engine gauge is an ammeter. Okay, that looks good. Fuel, oil temperature still warming up.
So I bet that's not tight enough.
Throttle idle. Do we want to not idle yet because it's not quite in the green?
Yeah, we can leave it at about 13 or so. Let it warm up.
Friction lock, you just adjusted it. Flight instrument set. Oops, that's a bug. Pretty good. Flight instruments. We also need to do our weather check so we can set our barometer or our altimeter.
10, clear below 12,000, temperature -5 Celsius, dew point -11, altimeter 3030.
Cycle one more time.
Heber City, Russ McDonald Field. Automated weather observation 1556 Zulu, weather, wind, calm, visibility 10, clear.
Perfect. All right, everything looks good to go. I believe we are set. Transponder to alt. Let's go ahead and do the idle check. Now we're in the green.
And we're pretty deep into the green now.
Good.
There we go. Good deal.
All right, emergency brief. If we have any issues during takeoff, if we still have runway left, we'll either land it or just continue on the runway and taxi back home if possible. If we have any issues after there's no runway left or not enough runway left and we are below 800 feet, we're going to find a farm or a highway to set it down on. Above 800, we are going to circle back and put it back on the runway. In this case, either way will be your controls.
All right.
And if we need to ditch it for some reason, we are going to pop the doors open, leave them cracked so we don't get pitched in here, and exit the vehicle the moment we can so we don't catch fire and explode. Questions?
Nope. Now, I don't know if I've told you this specifically. When you're on the takeoff, the airspeed indicator is a required equipment, right? And it has to be working. So there's no way for us to check it during pre-flight. There's no way for us to check it. The first time we can check it is on the runway.
Okay.
So that's something that we want to do when we're rolling down the runway.
Gotcha.
So we'll go full power, we'll wait for a couple seconds, make sure the airplane is still going straight, glance down, airspeed's alive when it comes about 40. Then you glance over, you look back up at the runway, glance at your engine gauges are in the green.
Okay.
And then continue on with your takeoff, starting to pull back at 50, nose wheel up at 60, and climbing away. So you actually say, all right, full throttle, all right, straight, okay, airspeed's alive, engine gauge is in the green, clear to take off. Or if they're not, okay, you would abort the takeoff.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
Move up to the hold short here.
Okay.
on the left.
I want you to try to remember that for like all of the touch and goes and everything as well.
Okay.
Just kind of get you in that mindset.
Traffic?
I do not, and I've not heard any either.
Hold short line. Heber traffic, Skyhawk 84717 to depart runway 22 for a left crosswind staying in pattern. Heber traffic.
Be careful with the to depart. That's kind of confusing. I don't know what you mean by that. If I was another pilot.
Okay.
So it would be departing or going to depart or taking the runway for departure.
Okay.
And taking the runway is generally kind of, it's the most
Preferred vernacular?
recognizable
Okay.
of your intent.
Full throttle. Nice and straight. Airspeed is alive. Engine gauges look good in the green. We're good to go. Start rotating.
Alright, good. Hold the nose where it's at. Don't let it go up or down. Hold it there for a couple seconds while the airplane speeds up or slows down to whatever speed it'll give. And then you look at what speed it's giving you.
It's giving me 85.
Alright. So if that's too slow,
Pitch down
push
just
down.
a
If
little bit.
it's too fast, you pull up just a little bit. Alright, good deal.
Alright, we are climbing at 90.
Okay.
600 feet AGL. Because we're getting close, okay to start my crosswind now?
Yep.
Turn left crosswind. Overshot my turn a little bit. Correcting now. Pulling back some power so we don't shoot by our altitude, which almost did anyway. We're a little close. Do you agree?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to pull over to the right here. Skyhawk 84, Heber traffic, Skyhawk 84717, midfield on the downwind for runway 22, touch and go, Heber traffic.
That was perfect.
Bam. Little high still, BC comps, booster, carb heat, gas, undercarriage, mixture, power is good, and speed belts, we're looking good. Now we're shooting for 90, still a little close, keep veering off a little bit. Just repeating the numbers. I'm going to put in my flaps. 1001, 1002, 1003. The nose from bumping up. Going to start to pull back power. 15.
Good deal. One thing, the flap switch is starting to get a little bit sticky in the down position. So sometimes when you let go, it'll keep going. So just click it back into neutral.
Okay. Skyhawk 8471, Heber traffic, Skyhawk 84717, turning left base for runway 22, touch and go, Heber traffic. I let the nose drop, which means I picked up airspeed.
Alright, high or low?
I am good, but I turned too late already.
Yep.
1001, 1002, 1003, and I went full flaps because I'm an idiot.
And then just click it back up.
Click it back up. Hebrew traffic, Skyhawk 84717, turning final for runway 22, touch and go, Hebrew traffic. Watching my airspeed, I should be shooting for 70. I'm high, so I'm going to pull back power. There's 70.
Alright, so yeah, this is actually right about right. So if we turn on those lights.
Maybe.
Right there. 2 white, 2 red. This is where you want. This is where the airlines come in.
Fantastic. A little more power. A short final, carb heat goes off.
Perfect.
Pull back power just a little bit.
Perfect. Good deal.
All right, we are
off.
flaps up. I'm looking at airspeed. Airspeed looks good. Looking at engine gauges. Engine gauges look good. Flaps are full in, full power.
Okay. So full power within 3 seconds. There you go. We're at 75. Okay. With the engine gauges, you want to do that after you go full power.
Okay.
You want to make sure that you're full power, because generally, so when you were idle, your pressure was at like 60, and now it's at 90.
Right.
The airplane's manual for the engine says that on takeoff it could be 115, but continuous 90 psi is the max.
Okay. They're climbing at 90.
That one was beautiful, other than overshooting.
Other than overshooting, yeah, my approach wasn't great.
But you got it back early on the final. You got it stabilized. You had it set at 70 all the way down to the runway. You were adjusting the power continuously to maintain that glide slope, so that was beautiful.
1001, 1002, 1003. I'm going to try to not overshoot my angle for downwind.
Okay.
Looks better.
Yep. This is right about where we want.
Still climbing. Climbing-ish. Full back power. 2000. All right, we're at 2000 RPM. Climbing just a little bit. I'm going to back it off just a little more. We're at pattern altitude. Hebrew traffic, Skyhawk 84717, midfield on the downwind for 22. Sorry, left downwind for 22. Touch and go, Hebrew traffic. DC gumps, booster carb, gas undercarriage, mixture power speed, and I'm going to go ahead and go 2001, 2, 3. Keep my nose level.
See, flaps are still going down.
Oh, geez, yep.
And then
back.
Make sure you're still looking outside, making sure the nose doesn't go too far up. Power 15 as well. So I'll usually do power before flaps.
Okay. Power then flaps.
So we're already at 20, so you don't have to add any on base.
Heber traffic, Skyhawk 84717, turning left base for runway 22, touch and go, Heber traffic.
Alright, right there, pop the wing up, look at the runway. Do you need to turn now, later, are you high or low?
I think I'm good on altitude, but I need to turn right now.
Okay, we are...
Heber traffic, Skyhawk 84717, turning left base, I'm sorry, turning final, runway 22, Heber traffic.
Alright, so we are high.
We are high. Okay. I'm going to pull power back.
Okay. So we're high, we're fast, and we don't have full flaps.
Full flaps, 1001, 2, 3.
Okay. So we're still high and fast, so we can try a slip.
Okay.
So full rudder, full aileron, or not full aileron, just enough to make sure that we're going straight towards the runway. There you go. And you can start letting it go so you can stabilize the rest of the way.
Coming in kind of fast here. Actually, speed looks good now.
Alright. There we go.
Nice and straight. A little bit back pressure on the yoke. Elevator's up. Or flaps up.
Alright, verify carb heat off as well.
Carb heat off. I missed that on short final.
You're good.
Okay, full throttle. 1001. 1003. Airspeed is working. Engine looking good. Back pressure on the yoke.
Yep. So we want to try to get off the ground at 60, so it happens really quick.
Okay.
With the engine gauges, I know it's kind of hard from your perspective to see where the green is.
Right.
You look at the needle. Is the needle pointed this way or this way?
Okay.
And is the needle pointed this way or this way?
A great tip.
Those would be your bads. If both the needles are pretty much in the top end, it's okay.
Okay. I'm going to turn crosswind now.
Okay. Heber traffic.
Heber traffic, Skyhawk 84717, turn left downwind for runway 22, touch and go Heber traffic. Still not at pattern altitude. Still climbing. Getting close. Start rolling off the throttle now so we don't overshoot it.
There you go, I like it, I like it.
There we go, we're at 2,000 RPM. We are at pattern altitude 7,600. Heber traffic, Skyhawk 84717, midfield on the left downwind for runway 22 for touch and go, Heber traffic. Okay, PC gumps, booster carb, gas, undercarriage, mixture power, speed, and we are beam, we just passed the beam right, power first, so I'm going to pull back to 15.
The nose naturally wants to drop, so you can pull a little bit.
A little bit of back pressure, then 1001, 2, 3, make sure it didn't stick.
And verify 10 degrees.
10 degrees is verified.
Okay. Pitching down for 90.
Pitch down for 90.
And trim for 90.
They're pretty well trimmed for it already. Heber traffic, Skyhawk 84717, turning left base for runway 22, touch and go Heber traffic.
Alright, now 20 degrees of flaps.
1, 2, 3. Make sure it doesn't stick.
Verified
20 degrees verified. Oh, I picked up a lot of speed because I let the nose drop.
Yep. We are pretty low.
Yep, so I'm going to add a little power. Keeper traffic, Skyhawk 84717, turning bay or final for runway 22, touch and go, Keeper traffic. I'm going to not touch my flaps yet.
Flaps will actually help you get altitude.
Okay. So 1001, 2, 3.
We feel it kind of ballooned us up.
I'm not on the center line either, so I'm going to adjust just a little bit. Still too low, so I'm going to add some more power.
There's 1 white and 2 white. This is where you ideally want to be. The Cessna is capable of much steeper than this.
I'm going to go ahead and pull carb heat off. We're on short final. Over the fence, going to make it to the runway no matter what at this point. Little power. There we go.
Okay, idle.
A little bump. Go to idle.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to do flaps all the way up.
Keep pulling back on the yoke, protect your nose wheel. So pull all the way back right now. There you go.
Flaps are all the way up. We're going to power, full power in 3 seconds.
Yep.
2001, 2002, 2003. That was like 5 seconds.
Alright, nose wheel comes off by itself at 60.
Airspeed looks good, engines look good. Yep, engine. Oh, there's a cat on the runway. Keeper traffic, Skyhawk 84717. Note there's a cat on 22 towards the departing end. Keeper traffic. I figure that's a good idea, right?
Yep.
For 90.
Okay, OK3, Skyhawk 84717.
At 84717, this is OK3.
Just to let you know, there's a cat on the departure end of runway 22. If you can send a truck out there, maybe scare it away or whatever.
Copy that, thank you.
So that was 4.
And a little late. Just that now. Pitching for 90. All right. Keeper traffic, Skyhawk 84717 on the left downwind for runway 22, touch and go, Keeper traffic. Approaching altitude. Should have done this a second ago. Pull back to 2,000. Overshot my altitude a little bit. About 50 feet or so. For traffic, Skyhawk 84717, midfield on the downwind for runway 22, touch and go, Haber traffic. BC Gumps, booster carb. Gas is on both, undercarriage, mixture, power, speed.
Alright, so right next to the 1,000
Right
footer.
at the 1,000. Right, power first, thank you. Power to 15. Not let the nose sink here too much. 1,001, 2, 3 for 10 degrees of flaps. Verified didn't stick, and we are there.
Yep, we're at about 10.
Let the nose sink for 90.
Alright, so if you're trim for 90 on the downwind, you should be pretty close to trim for 90 downwind, 10 degrees of flaps, 15 RPM.
Got it.
Alright, if we turn now, will we be high or low?
will be high.
Yep, just about.
Bend it out just a little bit.
Right about here, I think, is a good spot if you look real quick. Maybe.
Hebrew traffic, Skyhawk 84717, turning left base for runway 22, touch and go, Hebrew traffic.
Alright. Base, look at the runway.
Look good, altitude-wise.
Yeah.
Hebrew traffic, Skyhawk 84717, turning final for runway 22 for touch and go, Hebrew traffic. I blew right through my flapped, adjusting my flaps. 1,001, 2, 3. We'll do 20 degrees now. We are a little low.
But if you look, the flaps at 30.
Yep.
Go to 30.
1,001, 2, 3. We are at 30. Fix the switch.
Alright. Ah, cheater.
It didn't work anyway.
They take a minute to turn on.
Add a little power because we are a little low. RP'd off. A little bit of back pressure for the round up. Too much back pressure. Power idle. Keep my nose on center line. Keep back pressure on the yoke.
There you go, there you go, there you go.
Okay. Flaps up. 1,001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's about 6 count up. We're looking at airspeed. Oh no, I got a full throttle first. 1,001, 2, 3. Full throttle. Airspeed's working. Engine gauges look good. We're going to give back pressure and rotate. No cats this time that I can see.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Right there in the field. Oh, it's a chihuahua. The size of a cat, I mean, you can't blame me. I feel like all in all that was a little bit better. I'm still not consistent. Turning left crosswind.
Alright, now this bank angle right here, 30 degrees, is the maximum that anybody really likes you to do.
Okay.
When you bank that much, the nose tends to drop and you'll tend to gain airspeed. So it's kind of a little bit more stable to do smaller bank angles.
Okay. I think I'm artificially increasing my bank angle because the mountain intimidates me a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, where are we at? We are still good position for the downwind leg. Hebrew traffic, Skyhawk 84717 on left downwind for 22. Touch and go, Hebrew traffic. Okay. Still trying to gain some altitude here. Start throttling back now. Almost where I should be. 100 feet short. I mean, 10 feet short. Hebrew traffic, Skyhawk 84717, midfield on the left downwind for runway 22, touch and go Hebrew traffic. Okay. We are now abeam. I'm going to pull back power to 15. I didn't do my BC gumps. Booster, carb, gas, undercarriage, mixture power, which I'm adjusting now.
Oh no. The engine just died.
Okay, we have enough altitude where I'm going to go ahead and adjust for glide speed first, which you said was 85. We are there.
Look at the runway.
Okay. Add some flaps. 1,001, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Before you add too much flaps, you want to make sure that you're going to be long.
Okay.
If you're not going to be long, then you might want to take out flaps. Pitch for 86.
There we go.
And then you can transition that speed that you have into lift by adding flaps a little bit later. And you need to hop over the fence or whatever.
Yep.
And now full flaps.
A little rough.
Put on the runway.
But on the runway.
Flaps up. All right, good deal.
Was that right?
Yep.
All right. RP off, full power.
Just kind of keep in mind, you always want to keep an eye on the runway, where the runway is, and if you need to turn now or later, or I would recommend aiming for a third of the way down the runway.
Okay.
That way, if you happen to misjudge it and you're coming up short, you're still on the runway, or if you misjudge it and coming up long, you're still on the runway. Alright, let's climb at VX 73.
There we go. Now we're approaching 700 AGL. Hebrew traffic, Scott K4717, turning left crosswind for runway 22, touch and go, Hebrew traffic. So I'm going to adjust for...
Alright, how high are you? Can you make the runway, or are you
Nope, we cannot make the runway. Your controls?
Yep. So we have the airspeed. Heber area traffic, simulated engine out, runway 4. Heber, touch go. So I look at my airspeed, I have the airspeed, I can transition to lift and straighten me out on the runway.
Okay.
Now I can add flaps because I for sure made the runway. Full flaps, hold it off till the stall horn.
Nice.
So that's what it takes on those engine outs. And it doesn't look fun, doesn't look right, but sometimes that's better than the field covered with trees.
Right.
Or potholes, or cornfields, whatever. Alright, so your controls?
My controls?
Let's kind of go out
And then
flip around for a final.
Okay.
And we can call this one a full stop.
Okay.
So you are pretty low on that. You have to just kind of fight the urge to pull, and you have to keep your speed. As long as you're not going to physically hit something, it's okay.
Okay.
And we'll climb out, we'll kind of circle by the red ledges and then come back.
Okay. in a case like that, you blew right through the best glide slope, and we were doing almost 100 at some point. What's the methodology there?
And now this is kind of a personal preference. Some people have their kind of idea behind it. I personally like to trade the altitude that I have for airspeed.
Okay.
50 miles north of the airport.
Okay, 15 miles north.
It's eastbound.
So I like to trade my altitude for airspeed. I don't like flirting with the slow end.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of stuff that I can do to get altitude back if I have airspeed. I can add flaps, I can pitch, and stuff like that. If I am coming in too slow, there's not much I can do other than push down.
Right.
So I like to trade my altitude for airspeed, and I was trying to stay somewhere in the range of 86.
Okay.
But it wasn't like 86 is the absolute number to me.
Okay.
Okay, it's in a range. Alright, let them know that we are turning a 3-mile left base.
Caber traffic, Skyhawk 84717 is turning left base for 22. It is a 3-mile left base. I'm sorry, we're shooting for a 3-mile final. Caber traffic.
Alright, now, are we high or are we low?
We are low, both for distance.
Look at the runway.
Yeah. Actually, I guess we're probably right about right.
Yep.
I'm going to cut power.
Okay.
To 2,000 here.
Okay.
See where we're at.
And now, I want you...
Traffic, Diamond Star November 383 Papa Sierra is 13 miles south of the airfield at 9,500 feet, transitioning south. Last call.
Alright, so I want you to make a trajectory straight towards the runway.
A little early.
Well, like get over on center line, but I want you to make a trajectory straight towards the runway, and what I mean by that is add full flaps, get to 70, get it trimmed, and then just enough power to make it to the beginning of the runway. We're not going to try to get down to glide slope, not going to try to get up. We're just going to go from here all the way down. So,
okay. So, say that one more time. I'm a little confused.
So, we are really high, and
Okay.
we need to get all of our flaps in and get configured and stabilized at 70 first.
Okay, your controls.
So, full flaps. Slow it down. And now we're just going to make a trajectory from here all the way down to the runway, whether that means slipping.
Okay.
Okay, so you look at where the runway is, the runway numbers. See how the runway numbers are going down on the windscreen?
Yes.
That means I'm not flying straight towards those.
Okay.
So I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that those runway numbers don't change.
Position on the windscreen.
Yes, and that means that I'm going straight towards them. So it actually looks, even with full slip, I'm still going away from them, going to go past them. So where does it look like the airplane is physically going to hit the ground if I don't change?
Right, just past the 1,000 marker.
Yep, like a couple centerline stripes after.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm seeing. So that is what I care about. I don't care about glide slope or anything.
Okay.
As long as your trajectory is where you want.
Okay.
Coming in low, just change your power to make your trajectory the beginning of the runway. If you're coming in high, change your power and configuration to make it so that you're coming to the runway where you want. I'll just keep this going all the way down, closer to the runway. If you want, you can take over.
Okay.
Okay, I have full right rudder, a little bit of left aileron, ear controls.
Controls.
And I was pushing a little bit to hold airspeed. Alright, and then when you're comfortable, you can let go of the flip.
Transition out of it. That was hard too.
That's fine. Whoop. There you go. Alright, keep pulling back.
Powerful idle,
Protect
keep
your
pulling
nose.
back.
And we'll call that one a full stop. So, with that, I can tell if I'm, with that, I can tell if I'm going to be high or going to be low. Because if my trajectory, and let's slow down just a little bit, there you go. If my trajectory is lower or closer than the runway, I will get low.
Okay.
If it's farther, I will get high. So that's how you know if you're keeping your glide slope that you have made for yourself.
That makes sense.
Uh-oh, little chihuahua dog.
Huber traffic, Scott, gate 4717, clear of 22, Huber traffic.
Alright, do you have any questions about that stuff?
No.
Do you feel a little bit better about your patterns?
I do. It's still not as consistent as I would like. You know, I overshot final twice, I think. But I feel better than I did last time.
Okay, good deal. Now, I overshoot final. I miss my spot. I land hard. There's so many variables in aviation: wind, temperature, pressure, changes aircraft performance. So the numbers don't actually always give you exactly the same thing every time. So I'm not as concerned with you overshooting final as much as being able to get it back and fix the problem time to time.
Right.
If you are actually like progressing and it's not like a consistent problem, like every time you overshoot, every time you come in high, every time you come in low, that would be more of a problem than overshooting it every now and again and then being able to get it back and then lock it in and keep going to the runway.
Right.
That's what I really care about, is being able to fix it and lock it.
Okay. So what's your assessment of where I'm at? Am I right where I should be?
Yeah, if we had your review done and your pre-solo stage check done, I would hop out of the plane right now and feel totally comfortable with you going in the pattern.
Okay, great.
I have no doubt that you're capable of it now. Consistency-wise isn't what this stage is about.
Okay.
This stage is about recognizing and fixing, and if you don't have enough time to fix, going around.
Got it.
But for what I was saying, those were really consistent patterns. A lot more consistent than some students I have had. The radio calls, you were really methodical about everything you were doing. You're like step by step. All right, do this, do that. BC gumps. Oh no, I forgot BC gumps. Do it real quick. And it wasn't like you weren't forgetting completely.
Traffic Diamond Star November 383 Papa Sierra is 14 miles north of the airfield.
You missed a flap here and there.
At 9,500 feet.
But you recognized it.
Right. I didn't miss it and forget it.
Yeah, you didn't miss it and forget it.
Right there's fine?
A little bit more power to keep the turn coming around. There you go. And now try to just straighten it out. So left rudder, all the way left rudder, there you go. Straighten the nose wheel out, and now you can pull it to a stop and get the shutdown checklist.
All right. Parking brake? Nope.
Nope, we'll just grab chocks.
Master off.